So hello guys, Tuketheduke here, and the scenery is a little bit different this time because I'm in Jersey City looking at New York. And it's a bit sunny by that way, but there's one World Trade Center and downtown Manhattan. Put it back there. So I haven't made an update about the cancer thing since about November, so I thought I'd do an update now while I'm in a bit of a different scenery. And that means I was roughly, well, how many times I said I was in that video into the treatment. But the treatment ended officially on the 29th of December after, well, 7 weeks, because Christmas was in between, so I got like 4 extra days of holiday. And what I didn't touch on really last time was that the treatment, radiotherapy, was actually quite painful. My throat got insanely sore, so sore that I couldn't go to school, I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink. So I was really just eating smoothies and trying to drink some water. It also increased the buildup of saliva in my throat, back here, and in my mouth. So that meant I was vomiting a couple of times a day because of a gag reflex and just trying to get rid of all that saliva. And also because it was hitting here with the radiation, it destroyed my sense of taste for that time being and a couple of weeks afterwards. So after the treatment ended, roughly around 2 weeks later, I was feeling quite a bit better, so taste was coming back, and I was gradually being able to eat a bit better than before. I still have the markings on the skin where they put on the mask, and then the radiation has gone through the mask, so there's like little hexagons printed onto my skin, so they're still there. So I'm allowed to go into the sauna once that has pretty much cleared up and the skin looks normal, so I'm still waiting for that. So I want to talk about physiotherapy, which I haven't really talked about before. So after the surgery, I've had some problems with my right shoulder, more or less that it's sort of looks like it's dislocated, even though it isn't. And there's still a lot of, well, not a lot of, but a bit of swelling up here, so it feels a bit mushy and a bit bouncy. And I can now fully lift my arm up, but there's still some problems with it, like keeping it in place, and if you want to do push-ups, then it sort of goes off to the side and it's a bit uncomfortable. So we've been training that with the physiotherapist, and then also with the neck, and yeah, it doesn't really go up too much, so we've been training that, and then to the sides as well. The sides are getting good, but there's still a lot of trouble with going up. And then a couple of weeks after surgery, I had my first blood test to see initial results of the radiotherapy, whether it had worked or not. And those results were still a bit high. They'd increased actually. But then we took another one, maybe 1.5 months after that, and the results had decreased, so that's a pretty good sign. And then with the second blood test, we also took an ultrasound, just because there's still a lot of swelling here. So just to make sure that this isn't any of the cancer, that it really is just swelling, and which it was. So that was good as well. So overall, during the radiation, I lost around 4 kilos in weight, and that was pretty much mainly due to the fact that it was so difficult eating anything. But now that I can eat well, the weight is coming back and I'm happy. And another thing I haven't talked about in these videos are like the long-term side effects, which is because they removed my thyroid, I now have to take thyroxine for the rest of my life, and that cancelled out a lot of career opportunities. And so I'm now having to think about new options, and that's a task in its own right, and it is quite sad. But otherwise, school-wise, I'm able to do this year again next year, so that took a lot of weight off my shoulders, because during the treatments, you really have to focus on one thing only, and just recovering and putting you straight into that and not having to worry about school, that's quite a big help. So continuing on from here, I have one more blood test in mid-April, and one last checkup, and if that goes good, then I'm good to go onwards, and my pal will stay forever locked up in storage. And I also want to wish all the best to anyone who's been watching my videos and is going through the same situation. Yep, go us, we can do it, you can do it, let's do it.